Have you watched or heard of Squid Game? It is a Korean series, and it's a global hit. It is the most popular show on Netflix ever, the most popular ever, and it has returned for a much-anticipated season 2. But not everyone is happy about this, including Vietnam, the Southeast Asian country. Squid Game has sparked criticism in Vietnam. Many viewers are accusing the show of distorting history and are whitewashing atrocities. They want to boycott Squid Game, and now Vietnam is mulling, taking it off the air. It seems the real game has begun for Squid Game. Can it come out alive? And what's behind this controversy? Our next report tells you. Let's play. Do you know the most watched non-English show in the world? Well, here's a clue. It's the most watched show on Netflix. We're talking about Squid Game, the smash hit Korean series where hard luck contestants compete to death in sadistically themed children's games. Its second season released the day after Christmas and has already drawn more than 124 million viewers the world over. But not everyone is a fan. Squid Game has sparked criticism in Vietnam for allegedly distorting history, and now the show is facing calls for a boycott in the country. The controversy stems from a particular scene, which has a dialogue referencing the Vietnam War. In the scene, the character Dai Ho describes his family's military history. He says, "My father wanted me to become a real man, so he sent me to the Marines. My father was a Vietnam War veteran." That's when other contestants respond by praising his father, saying your father must be an honorable man. This exchange has angered many viewers in Vietnam. They say the series is glorifying South Korean soldiers who served in the Vietnam War. They are, quote, UN, quote, whitewashing the atrocities committed by the soldiers. Reactions on Vietnamese social media say they are boasting about a war fought on the blood and bones of another nation, and Korea always demands reparations from Japan, but proudly boasts about deploying troops to Vietnam. You see, South Korea and Vietnam share a fraught history thanks to the Vietnam War. It was a long, divisive conflict fought between 1955 and 1975. It pitted the communist government of North Vietnam against South Vietnam. The North was supported by China and the Soviet Union, while the South was supported by the United States and other non-communist nations, including South Korea. Between 1964 and 1973, South Korea deployed around 320,000 troops to Vietnam, and they fought alongside the U.S. Army in exchange for U.S. aid to resuscitate their ailing economy. And the South Koreans were a brutal fighting force. It's estimated that they killed more than 41,000 enemy fighters and slaughtered 9,000 innocent Vietnamese. Yet Seoul has been adamant that there's no evidence of such atrocities. The Vietnamese government has never publicly pushed for an apology, so neither country has really addressed the wartime baggage. But time and again, it pops up. Like in 2022, when Little Women was removed from Netflix Vietnam after being accused of distorting history through a controversial dialogue where South Korean soldiers were portrayed as heroes. And now, Squid Game faces a similar fate. The Vietnamese Culture Ministry is taking the backlash seriously. They are reviewing the second season of Squid Game, reevaluating whether it violates laws and misrepresents the nation's history. Depending on the ministry's findings, the show could be pulled from Netflix Vietnam. So the game will not stop. But in Vietnam, the Squid Game show might just